So now this video is really embarrassing, so I thought I would take my time to explain it. But before I get into it, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. I wanted to talk to you about how I lost $70,400 because I fell in love. Now, number one, I've got to advocate this right now. Now, some of you will hate me, some of you will love me. Literally, don't fall in love, because it can cost you money. Now, many of you are thinking, okay, cool, that sounds a bit crazy. Did he get divorced? Did his spouse steal his money? No, guys, never been married, there's no divorce. But I'm gonna show you how. But I've got to start by making you understand that some of you know me. I'm a property investor, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm also an investor in the stock market, and I've been investing in the stock market for many years now. I think I started around 2007, maybe 2008. But the main point and the main, oh God, this is so bad. So the main point I wanted to make was this. I think early 2008, maybe, that's when I got into Apple. Now, I bought Apple shares because I did some research. I understood the business. I looked at people like Steve Jobs and I said, oh my God, this man is taking this company right there. I had made some money from buying and selling cars, and I made around £4,500, maybe £5,000, and I took it all and I put it all into Self-Trade, which was the company I used to buy shares. So I bought shares in Apple. Now, I'm really annoying because what I do, and I still do it up until today, is I look at my investments, I look on the apps, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm making money, I'm losing money, and then I panic, and then I look back again, and things are going well, things are not going great. It's just a terrible habit. Don't do it, because the aim of investing is long term. Well, that's my strategy. I bought these Apple shares. I told every single friend of mine, I told them every second, hey guys, look at my shares, get involved in Apple. Apple's going a long distance. Now, I think I got in around $31, $32 per share. Now, I had, by the time, oh God, this is so bad, man. So I bought a ton of shares. I kept an eye on the shares. I knew they were going a long distance. I had already planned that when I get older, this was going to be my retirement fund, because I knew Apple was going to go the long distance. To cut the long story short, I met somebody. I met this lovely girl, and her name was, I'm not gonna say her name because I can't, you know what? There's no point even knowing the name. It doesn't even matter to this story. So I met this lovely person online. Oh my God. So I met this lovely girl online, and we and it blossomed into a relationship. Now, we were dating. I couldn't tell any of my friends this because, number one, let's get it straight. My friends and I, we got girls. We got good looking, beautiful women. So it wasn't a matter of getting girls, but I went online and I met this amazing girl, and we were speaking every day and every second, and I would sneak a little text, but I knew I couldn't tell my friends about it because they would be like, bro, what are you doing, man? Let's go talk to these girls. What are you doing online? What? That girl's a waste, man. This is that. But I couldn't tell them because because we were speaking so often that I had fallen in love. Now Okay, yeah, I know. I fell in love probably about after 2 weeks, which is why I said don't fall in love. So I fell in love about after 2 weeks, and this relationship went on for quite some time. So we were talking and months were going on. And then she said, look, you know what, babe? I really want to see you. And I'm like, yeah, I really want to see you. And she lived in America. And obviously I was at university. This is so dumb. It's sad admitting this. So yeah, I said, look, you know what? I can't come down to you. I don't even know where my flipping passport is. But when you get the chance, come to London, come and see me. And then one day she said to me, you know what, babe? I really want to see you. I can't wait to see you. I'm gonna come and stay with you for like a month. And I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, let's do this. And she said, look, you know what, babe? The only issue is I ain't got no money to come down. And I'm a student. I ain't got no money either. So I'm looking around. I'm checking my overdraft, which has been used up. I'm checking my bank account. I'm checking my little tin jar where I put my pennies in. And I'm calculating that's not going to come up to like 30, 40 pounds. Now this girl, now the only issue here is, this girl's really bougie. So from looking at her pictures, from speaking to her, if you looked at all her pictures, she was Gucci, Prada, Louis V, every single luxury item under the sun. So this girl was like bougie. And I'm thinking, bro, when she comes down, I don't know what restaurant we're gonna go to, because I'm a student, I can just about afford Nando's. Now, I could scrape about £15 together for our date, which is what I recommend men spend on dates. Don't spend any more after you hear this story. So I could scrape around £15 together, because we could go to a restaurant. I wouldn't eat any food. She could eat, and I'll just pretend I had eaten before, or my stomach hurts. You can tell I've done this before, right? So, long story, she said, look, I wanna come down, I wanna see you. So I said, babe, I couldn't tell her. Of course, I couldn't tell her I didn't have any money, because she's looking at my pictures. She's thinking I'm rich, because I'm probably telling her, oh yeah, oh my God. Guys, don't lie to girls either, because you set the expectations. So I gave her the impression I was making all this money. So she said, you know what, babes, if you're making all this money, you might as well just grab me a ticket. Now I'm panicking, because I'm thinking I'm jumping on British Airways, and I'm looking at tickets, and I'm like, man, I could ask my mum for this money, but I can't tell her what it's for, or I could borrow it from a friend. But if they find out I borrowed money to meet some girl, so I had to ask myself some serious conversations. I could end it with this girl now, but I couldn't, because I was in love, and I knew this could be a relationship. Because you hear that story that you meet, you're supposed to anyway, for you guys that didn't, shame, you're supposed to meet the love of your life during university, and I thought that was mine. Now, the issue was, this girl said to me she wanted to come down, and she wanted a business class ticket. Now, I could have asked my mum for like £300 or £400 to buy a plane ticket. But now this girl's telling me that she wants business class, but I'm in love. So I'm like, yo, listen, whatever you want, babes. I couldn't say no, because she thinks I'm rich. So, okay, this is where it gets interesting. She then said to me, okay, look, why don't we do it this way? She would buy the ticket, and she would find a cheaper ticket. I should just send her out the money. And I said, okay, well, if you can buy a ticket and it's cheaper, then yeah, maybe it's cheaper coming from America to here, whatever the case was. But I still didn't have the money, so I kind of ignored her and weaseled around the subject for about a week or so, until she said, listen, I really want to see you. And then she told me something which made me realize that I had to do something. She said, TJ, look, I didn't really want to say this, but TJ, oh my God, I can't even say it. She told me she loved me. She said, look, I love you, and I really want to see you, so you've got to make this happen. Now, bearing in mind, I don't have any money. Oh my God. So, oh my God, I prayed about it. This is why I did it, guys. I actually prayed about it. And I had a conversation with God, and I said, listen, if this relationship is supposed to be, then you've got to show me how I can make her come over here for a month. And the first thought that came to my head was, yo, bro, if you want this to happen, the only money you've got is stuck in the stock market in Apple. So I called up my broker, Self-Trade, and I said, hey, I want to sell some Apple shares. Now, this is where I should have taken it as a sign, because the telephone person, the broker on the other end, said, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And I was like, yeah. Now, I was on a train at this specific time, and the phone cut off. So again, that was probably God saying, hey, listen, young man, don't do it. Don't do it. So now I went online. I went to www.selftrade.co.uk, and I typed in my account number, typed in my PIN code. And I was having doubts at that moment. I said, TJ, you're in this for the long term. Steve Jobs is the baddest man on earth. These shares are going to set you up for life. Do not do it. And as if by magic, I think she was a witch, to be honest, I get an email from her. Hey, TJ, babe, I can't wait to see you. I love you. This is going to be amazing. So guess what I did, guys? I pressed sell. I pressed sell the damn Apple shares, and I sold my flipping Apple shares. Now, okay, cool. I've sold my shares. Like, stupid decision, but you know, you got to do what you got to do when you're in love. So I sent her £2,000, out of the £6,000 that I had. This is where it gets a little bit interesting. So she's supposed to buy the ticket and then send me the details of the ticket so I can make arrangements. She then says, I'm not going to stay in, what hotel have you got booked? And I'm thinking, yo, there's no hotel, you're going to stay in my dorm. But obviously I can't tell her that she's going to stay in my dorm because she thinks I'm rich. So now I've got to find a hotel, but my standard is Travelodge or Holiday Inn or ETAP, if you remember that hotel. But this girl's bougie. She's going to come here in her Louis and she can't go to no Holiday Inn. So she said, you know what? Send me another £1,000 and I'll book us this nice, lovely place. So I sent her another £1,000. Oh my God. So I sent her £3,000. Now, the problem here is, I want to give you guys some maths on this. So you realize, after I sent her the £3,000, do you know what? I'm just going to say it once and for all. I've been dragging the story out because I didn't want to say it. Yeah, she disappeared. There's nothing else I can say. She's disappeared. I've never heard from her again. I looked I looked for her for about 3 months. I am still looking for her. So if any of you played a part in taking that money from me, I will find you. I want my 3K back because I can definitely buy some new shares with that. Yeah, come to think about it, obviously as you mature a bit, she was definitely one of those internet hacker people who sucked my money, ran away. But how did I lose £70,000, guys? No, I did not send her £70,000 or $70,000. That would be stupid. Obviously, sending £3,000 is stupid, but hey, that's why I don't believe in love. But let me go back to what it is. I had around $6,000 worth of shares in Apple. That gave me, and I got in around $31, $32. That gave me around 220 shares. Apple, as we're speaking today, is $351 per share. I want you to do the maths on there. There's been a $320 growth per share. So from £6,000 that I took out because I wanted to, because I was in love, this is so embarrassing, to a £70,400 difference only because I had to sell some shares to bring my fake lover into the country. So of course I couldn't borrow the money from my friends because we all know what friends are like. Hey, how are you, mate? I've met this girl, kind of met her, haven't officially met her, haven't actually seen her face, but I think I'm in love with her and she loves me and we might end up getting married. So can you lend me some money to pay for her plane ticket to come to the UK? Yeah, it just wasn't going to happen. This doesn't only happen to old women sitting in their house and they fall in love with some guy in Africa that claims to love them and they want to send some money over. It's embarrassing, but yes, it happened to me as a young man, which makes no sense because I would cuss someone out for saying, hey, I sent some money to some random stranger, but she wasn't a stranger at that point. So I actually get why people fall into these things. Look, obviously I wouldn't fall for it now, which makes no sense, but I don't know how I fell for it then, which makes no sense. But I think it was this. Men or boys usually talk to other boys about who they're talking to. But I couldn't talk to anyone about this one because I think I was a little bit embarrassed because my friends will cuss me. So I think, I don't know, I can't even justify it. I can't justify it. I'm never ever in my life getting scammed again. I'm doing every single thing to take scammers down from today. Every single scammer until I get my £3,000 back, no one is safe. So, number one, don't sell your shares ever in your life. Number two, don't get in relationships online because they're all after your money. Number three, don't be an idiot. Number four, this is embarrassing, so don't judge me.